and welcome to Vaishnavi's YouTube channel. My name is Vaishnavi. I'm taking Indian Society lecture series in Vaish IAS YouTube channel. So we have finished previously episode number 14. Like we have finished 14 episodes in earlier lectures. So if you have not seen them, see them initially and come back to this video so that there will be a flow in your preparation process. And if you are the one who is new to this channel and not subscribed this channel yet, if you liked these videos, you can like, subscribe and share it with your friends and give your feedback in the comment section. So let's start today's video. So today we are going to study about the social structure, social processes and the women. Okay, we'll be reading this topic in today's class. So, social structures that created the secondary states or status of women. What are those social structures that created the secondary states of the women is what we are going to read in today's class. The first structure which created the secondary role for women is the caste structure. I have exclusively spoke about the caste system and the jati system in the previous classes when I was discussing that particular topics. That's the reason I am telling previously I have uploaded the videos. You watch them and come back to this video so that you will understand it in very concise way. Okay? If you watch it directly also you'll understand, but some of the terms in sociology and society portion will be in such a way that you will be understanding if you see the previous lectures itself. Okay. Now let's learn the social structures that created the secondary status to women. First one is the caste structure. Okay. Caste structure is nothing but it will involve the hierarchy. The subordination of women was crucial for the development of caste hierarchy. The higher is the caste, the greater were the constraints on women. Okay, the higher is the caste, the greater were the constraints for women. It is observed that the development of gender division was based on the control of female sexuality. It was integral for the formation of the social structure itself. I have told you that in the caste system there is a hierarchical model. So, for example, if I tell you the hierarchical model will be in this way. First one is Brahmin, second one is Kshatriyas, third one is Vaishya, fourth one is Shudras, and the fifth category is untouchable. They were completely kept outside the society. So this is basically the caste system in brief. So the higher is the caste, the greater were the constraints on people. The higher is the caste, the more will women will be involved in the domestic courts itself. They won't be involving in the outside activities. So the higher is the caste, the higher is the stereotypic behavior in the case of gender. Okay, it might be relevant to ask what was the need to control women's sexuality, what was its women's powers would endanger, how was it linked with the material resources. So for unraveling this question it is important to understand the caste. That's the reason once you read the caste system before reading this topic. Okay, historically Indian society was categorized into thousands of subcastes. Actually this in regional languages it is known as jati system, jatis. They were divided into different jatis. However, if you see the pan Indian social hierarchy, it is based on the varna hierarchy. It divides the Hindu population into, as I have already told you, into Brahmin, that is the priestly caste on the top, the Kshatriyas, the warrior caste, and the Vaishyas, they are commoners, usually known as the trading caste. And the bottom one is the Shudra. They were actually the agricultural laborers, and they're also belonging to artisan community. Who are beyond the caste hierarchy were the untouchables. The caste boundaries were maintained through strict purity. The purity is the basis for the caste system, one of the reason. So they have the purity pollution principles, because of which there is a strict division between the castes. And they follow endogamy, commensality, commitment to caste occupation, the ascribed lifestyle. So here I have told you about commensality and the ascribed status. Okay, ascribed status is nothing but the status which is achieved from the birth itself. Like from the birth itself, if someone is achieving some status it is known as ascribed status. It is not the achievement status, this is the ascribed status that you will earn through the caste system. Okay, this is briefly about the caste system, but what leaded, like how caste is related to women's subordination. Because if you see, like the rituals the Brahmins perform, the rituals the upper caste people perform, they involve the purity. The ritual purity is in the nature of the religious status. It is also involved with the economic wealth, social esteems, and they wanted girls not to involve in the rituals, not to involve in the funeral practices when they are when the person is died. Okay, these kind of systems, these kind of stereotypic behavior increased when the caste, like the upper part of the caste, the person who is in the upper part of the hierarchy has many rituals. Like if you take the Brahmins, they will perform many rituals. They don't want women of the Brahmins community to involve in that particular rituals because they have more stereotypic behavior. When you come to the lower caste like untouchables or something, if you take the Shudra class who are the agricultural laborers, even women come out and they work in the fields. So the stereotypic behavior is decreasing when we are going from upper caste to the lower caste. Okay, so the caste system is very much linked with the women, the gender discrimination. Okay, I can tell you the immovable property, the arranged marriage system, the child marriage, the strict monogamy for women, the sati, ban on widow remarriages, ban on the childhood marriages. These are all linked with the what is called as caste. Okay, the social structure called caste system is deeply involved with the secondary status of the women. The second one is the institution of family. If you take the family, family is nothing but it's the most important social unit in which members live in a network of mutual ties, roles, and obligations. And this is the unit of procreation. It will nurture and socializes the young ones, right? They will be transmitting the tradition, culture, religious, social values to enable them to perform various roles in the society. The family performs the function of continuity of generations, and it will help in the transmission of the private from property from the first generation to the second generation. Okay, the role of family in procreation is closely intertwined with the pattern of descent. Okay, the pattern of descent is closely involved in it. In India, you can see the patriarchal families, the patrilineal system, the patrilocality. These are the kind features of the Indian families. Except if you take the Garo Kasi hills of Kerala, the the Nair community of Kerala, the Garo Kasi hills, the northeastern India, the certain types in the Lakshadweep, except these certain places, every other place in India is forming the patrilocality, the preference for the male child, the patrilineal system. Again, these type of terms I have explained in the last classes. That's the reason you watched the previous classes. Okay, these kind of systems are linked with the family structure. So this is also leading to the what is called as women's subordination in the society. The next one is the social structure, is the socialization within the family and outside the family. Socialization, this term I have explained in the last class, but I'll explain you once again. Socialization is nothing but it's the duty of the family, or it's the duty of the society to transmit the culture, the tradition, the social values and other norms, other social norms from one part of the generation to the other part of the generation, so that they can live in society with all the kind of the values, all the kind of traditions, cultures. Apart from the parental socialization or the family socialization, there are various other agencies which will perform the socialization function. They are your schools, that your peer groups, the literature. They play a vital role in early socialization and the adult socialization also. Girls and boys receive different type of socialization in the society, which further perpetuates asymmetric roles and relationships. Because when you're a child, they will be given you the Barbie dolls. Like if you're a girl, they'll give you the Barbie doll. If you're a boy, they'll gift you the cards. These type of things, these type of socialization is started from your birth itself. They are giving you different toys because they are telling you indirectly that you're a girl, you need to play with toys, you need to raise the child when you become like old, they will give you the kitchen set because they want to tell you that when you become old or when you grow old, you need to work the kitchen core activities. The boys will be gifted the doctor's kit or something, the car kit or something like that, because they'll be telling indirectly that you need to work out, you need to go out, you need to perform the job, you are the breadwinner of the family. This kind of socialization is done in the society during their childhood and during the adulthood also. Boys are generally equipped with the higher education and skills in order to perform the breadwinner's role, and the girls will be initiated to do the domestic work. Not many can be seen in today's society, but I am telling about the overall, the average society. Okay, girls will be, in comparison with the boys, will be given the lesser education. They will be trained to work hard and develop low self-esteem. Like for example, if you want to pursue engineering, if you have a choices of computer engineering, computer science engineering, the mechanical field, the other things, obviously your parents will suggest you to go to the computer science field because they'll be telling you that you're not a boy, it will be not good to work in a mechanical field, better go to the other field. So these kind of stereotypes are even present now, even though they are giving you the education. There are some kind of differences even now also. Okay, it has been observed that the school books perpetuate the images of mother as a housewife, father as a breadwinners, boys playing with guns, trucks, girls with the toys, dolls. Though several schools encourage involvement in the sports for the boys and girls also, there are stereotyped patterns of playing. But okay, for example, if you can see, boys play football, basketball, cricket, while girls skip and involved in the restricted games. Media messages about women and girls perpetuate the stereotyped sexist images, which enable the media industry to maintain its market. Okay, these are the kind of things which will create the subordinate position for women in the society. And the last one, or the last social structure which can be observed, is the class structure and the women's work. Okay, if you take the class structure, class is defined as it is based on the ownership of the property or capital or economic resources. In simple terms, if I need to say, in the capitalistic hierarchy, in the capitalistic structure of hierarchy, if you see, the hierarchy will be determined by the wages and the relationship based on the economic terms. Okay, in the capitalistic form of society, people who work for a wage and people who hire workers for wages in rural areas, where the social, economic and political power coincides with the caste structure, while the other type of works will be like the status in the society will be based on the caste or based on the money. Okay, the money is nothing but the class structure, based on the caste is nothing but the caste structure. If you take the urban context where there is a transition to the non-agricultural occupation, there is a shift from the ascribed status to the achieved status. I have told you what is ascribed status, something which is obtained from birth itself. If you are belonging to the upper caste, the status in the society will be gone to you, like will be given to you from the birth itself. But in the urban society, you can see the status from the ascribed society to the achieved form of status, where the people are getting the respect in the society based on their achievement, not based on their birth. In the urban context, we can see this kind of behavior. Women of the class emerged from the seclusion during the century to acquire education, employment. The important aspect is that economic dependence on men should be broken. Okay, why, how the class structure determines the women's subordination is that, as women are not getting the proper education, they are not getting the proper resources, they are subordinating in the house by performing the house core activities. They are the one who will sacrifice their life when they give the like birth to the child. They will like resign the job, they will take care of the house core activities. These kind of things will be performed by women, whereas the men will be obviously the breadwinner work, they will perform the breadwinner's work. So they will not sacrifice anything for the sake of women or for the sake of family. Okay, however, this did not drastically change. The subordination of women is still occurring in the society. Okay, the class structures appear to build upon the existing gender hierarchy in the caste structure. The family within the class structure also derives status from women's education and employment. Women perform status maintaining and enhancing activities to the family. As even the educated wives, mothers, earners also perform these activities. If you see the advertisements in the matrimonial columns, these are the evidences for the trend. Like the subordination of women can be seen through the matrimonial columns. When you like look in the newspaper, you can find this kind of stereotypic behavior in the newspaper itself. Women's subordination is entrenched in the caste and the class hierarchies, which have to be understood. Otherwise, women issues will be misunderstood as mere cultural accidents and violence on women as stray incidents. So there should be a keen attention on the women's subordination in the society. We have to work for it. We as a future generation people have to work for this. Okay. So by giving this keynote, I'm ending the class. I hope so you liked the lecture, because this is a very sensitive issue that you and I need to work upon. Okay. If you like the video, like it. If you're not a old subscriber of this channel, do subscribe to this channel and get regular updates by clicking the notification bell icon. And give your feedback in the comment section. That is it for today's video. Let's meet with another video in the next class. Until then, take care. Bye.